If you're thinking about making a move to a coastal San Diego beach town that not only has great beaches, but an awesome small town community vibe, then Cardiff-by-the-Sea might be the spot for you. And today we're breaking down what it's like to live here, including neighborhoods, lifestyle, beaches, and everything in between to help you figure out if this is the place you want to call home. So let's get into it right now. So Cardiff is in North County, San Diego, just south of Encinitas, just north of Solana Beach, and you're sitting about 28 minutes or so from downtown San Diego. This is giving us directions to the airport. So if you need to travel, you could expect it to be about that 30-minute mark. During certain times, yeah, it could be a little bit less, it could be a little bit more depending on when you are actually flying. But Cardiff is a little bit lesser known area. A lot of people who are reaching out to us are like, we want Encinitas, maybe it's Solana Beach, maybe it's Carlsbad, but Cardiff doesn't come up all that often. Maybe it's because a lot of people don't know about it. Maybe because it is a smaller footprint. It is only about 12,000 in population. There's a few different neighborhoods we'll break down here in a sec to show you a few different areas, but it's just a smaller little area where it's technically part of Encinitas. So it's governed by the city of Encinitas, but it is its own zip code. It's 92007. Encinitas is 92024. So it does have its own little feel. It's got its own unique vibe, even though it is within the city of Encinitas. Even though it is a smaller footprint, it still has some of the best beaches in North County, San Diego. Now, there are some cons with some of these beaches, which we'll get into here in a bit. But as far as beachfront, you're looking at a few miles of beachfront. Now, it looks like the 92007 line only goes to here, but I'm gonna go all the way to where it gets into Solana Beach. This beach down here to the south is actually called Cardiff State Beach. So we're gonna include that. So you're looking just over 2 miles of beachfront right here in Cardiff. So anywhere you're living in Cardiff, you have quick access to the 5 freeway because it basically splits Cardiff in half, where you have east of the 5 and then you have west of the 5. There's a few other main thoroughfares you'll see popping up here as we get down to South Coast Highway. This is the main drag that goes north to south. You have Birmingham, which is a big east to west. You have Manchester, which goes down and connects to El Camino Real. And then to the north, you have Santa Fe Drive. So those are the main corridors cutting through this area of Cardiff. And if you're ever out here exploring and just checking out what's going on, definitely get in here. I'll show you a few places to check out as we're going through, but just this drive coming out of where you see Swami's, going down Coast Highway, it is gorgeous, especially once you get down here. You're a little bit more to the north, it's a lot of bluffs. As you get here, it kind of flattens out right next to the beach. So beautiful drive as you are going through Cardiff, going towards Solana Beach. And it's just a really awesome little spot right here in San Diego. So if you're thinking about moving here, you gotta know where to actually live. Let's break down a few of the main areas right here in Cardiff, starting with just south of Birmingham Drive, where you're getting into the walking district. This whole gridded pattern right here that you're seeing, where all of these British city names are popping up: Edinburgh, Cambridge, Oxford. All of these are considered the walking district. This area is up on a hill, so if we go into here, it is walkable for sure. But Cassie and I have done some videos where we're cruising up here. It doesn't look like it here. Let me jump into Street View real quick, just to show you. It is a pretty steep hill going up here. So as you're going up the hill, it just keeps going up, but that allows a lot of this area to have some gorgeous views. See, we're kind of all up on a hill here, so looking out towards the coast or down towards the lagoon. So this is the walking district. A lot of these houses in here, there's actually a wide variety of houses, from old beach bungalows to brand new construction homes where they basically raised the old property, built these new, beautiful, big new homes, big footprint homes. But it's a little bit tighter in here. As you're going through, you can see there's not a ton of yards. A lot of the homes are built on a lot of the lot. There are some alleyways as well as you're going through here. So you're gonna find it's a little bit tighter. Parking's a little bit more difficult up here, but it is beautiful. It's an awesome spot once you do get into this area. And from here, you're walkable down to the little town center right here. So there's not a ton of infrastructure here in Cardiff. As we're going through, you're gonna see there's not gonna be much more I'm gonna show you as far as shops, restaurants, any of that kind of stuff. This is basically where it's gonna be, where you have the Cardiff Seaside Market. Go in there, get some Cardiff crack. It's a marinated tri-tip super tasty. You can't really mess it up. Bring it home, you can get it to go. It's awesome stuff. East Coast Pizzeria. There's a bunch more spots in here where you have Waverly, a restaurant right here. You have Pipes Cafe, Fish 101, a few of the OG favorites, VG Donut. You also have Best Pizza and Beer, Bump Coffee. They have some awesome little empanadas there. So you see always people hanging out in front of there. There's Best of One Pizza over this way. There's a few other spots that you're gonna hit if you are living in this area. But basically this is like the main area of Cardiff as far as infrastructure goes. And I'll swing back to the beaches before we get out of these beach areas. But the next little neighborhood just directly to the north, where you see all of these roads are not necessarily on that grid pattern anymore. It's a little more loose over here. This is the Composer District. As you look into some of the street names where you have Mozart, you have Rubinstein, a lot of the roads are named after composers, hence the Composer District. Once again, as you get up here, a little bit bigger lots, a little bit more character, a little bit more spread out. I mean, it's still tight because you're right on the coast, everything's built in, but it just feels a little more spread out than the walking district we just cruised through. Now, before we go east of the 5, I just want to show you. So all of these neighborhoods right here along San Alejo Ave and Coast Highway right here, you do have beautiful beachfront views, but a lot of these areas aren't super easily accessible to the beach, which is one of the drawbacks of certain areas of Cardiff, because you do have San Alejo Ave, you have the train tracks, you have South Coast Highway, and then right here, you have bluffs. So there's like beautiful views, gorgeous sunsets, but as far as beach access, this northern section isn't the easiest. Now, I surf down here a lot, surf at a few other areas out here where, you know, as you're living here, you're gonna find where to park, you're gonna find out where to go, you're gonna find out where the easiest beach accesses are. But as a whole, it's gonna be a little bit less accessible than certain other areas. As we scroll down here, this whole area is a campground, so you're gonna find no housing in here. But if you guys want to experience a little bit of Cardiff before you move here, maybe go camping a little bit, you could also just go from here, you can walk across. You know, it's suburban camping, so you can go out to all the restaurants right across the way. You can experience beachfront living right here, but it's pretty nice. And then as you go south, it opens up quite a bit where you have not much out here. You have a parking lot down to the south. You have a big stretch here. It's a little bit flatter, a little bit more easy to access. So then we're gonna hop east of the 5, and you have a few more distinct neighborhoods over here, but it's also a few smaller neighborhoods once you get down this way, once you get into here. But you have Poinsettia Heights, you have Park Place over here, which is a big area of condos and townhomes and such. So a little bit more affordable as you get into this area. Actually, when I was looking at homes moving down from southern San Diego, we actually looked at a few properties in this little area, and they're a little bit older as far as infrastructure goes, but it's an awesome little area. But they are cool little complexes, especially as people have come in here and fixed up a lot of these. So you might move in, it's move-in ready, it's all set to go, and you're only a few minutes to the beach. And then a few other amenities. Like I said, there's not too many amenities right in here, but right over to this section, you're gonna find another little spot, a little shopping center, where if you are in town, a brand new spot just opened up, Breakers right here. It was started by a pro surfer. He's just built it out, cool vibe in there. It's only been open for a few months, but you also have an awesome sushi spot right over here, Sushi Lounge Encinitas. So you have a few in there. And then right across is this huge amenity to have right here in Encinitas, and they're even building it bigger, but Scripps Memorial Hospital. It is right on the border here, Encinitas and Cardiff. And right east of the 5 is going to be one of Casty's favorite neighborhoods in all of San Diego. If you guys seen our other videos, Casty is on here a bunch, but this is like an older planned community, but as people have come in here, they built on. This is one of the main styles that you'll see where it's kind of this L shape where they build on top of the garage, because that is the way they are able to get it permitted and everything good to go. So as you're going through, that's a lot of the style you'll see when people are adding on in this neighborhood. Otherwise, you're gonna find a lot of these single story homes. All right, now Cardiff, as you know, is a coastal community. With coastal communities come a lot of days where it's overcast. You have a marine layer. This day is gorgeous day right here in Cardiff. As you can see, nice blue skies. Let's go down a little bit, see if we could find a day when it was not beautiful and sunny. We cannot, but anyways, we'll just go back and show you how close we are to the coast. A lot of days, there's no like direct line. Okay, where does it start to, you know, get sunnier often? Most of Cardiff is close enough to the coast where if you're having that marine layer, a lot of times it's gonna be in Cardiff. But even that, I've had some days where I'll go down to surf. I'll be going down Santa Fe, down towards the coast. And over here where I'm heading from the east, it is sunny, sunny, sunny. And then kind of when I get to the 5, you can see off in the distance, it's starting to get a little bit overcast. And then as you get down to the coast, like it might be like overcast right in here. So even though it is not too far from the coast, sometimes it is nice inland a little bit, you know, not crazy, a mile inland. And then over here, it is still overcast. But as a whole, compared to a lot of other areas of San Diego, yeah, you are coastal, so you are still gonna get a lot of that marine layer. You're gonna get a lot of that May gray, June gloom as that's coming in all off the coast here. So just be aware that it's not all beautiful sunny days right here in San Diego. You will get a little bit overcast and ugliness as well. But checking out the weather here. So right now we're in October, 74 degree highs, 60-degree lows. You can see in the summer times, you're not getting too hot. In the winter times, you're not getting too cold. So it's very temperate here in Cardiff, where you're looking at, even during the winter times, highs of 67, lows of 49. So definitely during the nights, you're gonna get used to that San Diego cool off. As the sun goes down, as the evening comes in, you're gonna want to layer up, bring a little sweatshirt or something, because even if you're going to the beach, from your house, you're like, okay, it's daytime, we're good, it's nice. You get to the coast, maybe it's a tad cooler, and then you actually, you know, hang out there all day. It's going in the evening, it's definitely gonna cool off. So just be aware of that, start to layer up. As far as rainfall, you're not looking at too much. It looks like February is the rainiest month, 2.3 inches of rainfall, mostly during June, July, August, September. You're not seeing anything. A little bit of this 0.1 in July, August, September is sometimes we will get some tropical moisture coming from Baja California, and sometimes there's a hurricane off the coast and it pushes up into Southern California. We get a little drizzle or something. A few years ago, there was hurricane that came through. It honestly ended up being nothing, but you will get a little bit of that from time to time. But for the most part, you're not going to get a ton of precipitation during those months, actually during most months, but you will get a little bit from time to time. Like even today, mid-October, we did have a storm. I think it was a Pacific storm because it was a little colder. It was coming from the north, I believe. We did get a little bit of rainfall yesterday, a little bit today, but rainfall here in San Diego, I think it lasted probably 30 to 60 minutes where it was actually raining. Other times it was drizzling a little bit. So you will get bigger storms from time to time, but most of the times that's how it's gonna be, where you get a few hours of rain and then it's done. Now, what about the water temperature right here it's saying Encinitas, but it shares the same water with Cardiff. So it's chilly most of the time. So we're gonna peak out in August around 70 degrees for the water, and you're gonna get down to about 59 degrees in February. Sometimes it gets colder. I've been in when it's like 55, 56 degrees. A few times I've been in during summer times, it's 73, 74, very few days, but from time to time you'll get that. So anyways, if you're moving here, you're love getting in the ocean, taking a swim, going for a surf, just hanging out at the beach, bring the kids down there, all that kind of stuff. Just be aware, the water temp is usually fairly cold. Right now we're sitting about 68 degrees, maybe 67 degrees. So you're thinking you're getting in the water. Most times you're getting in with wetsuits. Obviously during the summer times, it's hot enough out where you're not necessarily having to wear wetsuits. You know, kids are going in, they don't really care anyways. But if you're going out to surf, to swim, to any of that kind of stuff, a lot of times you will be in a wetsuit. And as we're going through this, just as a quick reminder, I'm Chris Erickson. We have a real estate crew right here in North County, San Diego. So if you're thinking Cardiff, or you want to pick our brains, maybe some other areas that might work for you, definitely reach out. You could call, text, email. All of our info is right down below. Or if you just want to dive in a little bit more, feel free to download our relocation guide, where we have some local area guides, some neighborhoods, some things to check out, and everything in between, breaking down San Diego to give you a really good look at San Diego as a whole. So get that downloaded, or feel free to reach out, because we got your back when making the move here to San Diego. So a few other amenities before we get into some important factors if you're thinking about living here, especially if you have kids. We're gonna dive into, so yes, you have, the town center right here, Cardiff Seaside Market. You have a few of VG Donuts, we've already covered that. You have Santa Eulalia State Beach. This is all the campgrounds right here. Another awesome beach is going to be right here. It's Cardiff Reef, a little tiny small parking lot, but you go there during the week. It's not too bad. Get your annual parking pass. It's not through Cardiff, it's through the state of California, but it includes this and the Seaside Reef Beach as well. One of the biggest things I think that a lot of people don't know about Cardiff is directly to the south you have San Alejo Lagoon right here. And it's this whole southern portion bordering to the south by Solana Beach. But within these last few years, they've built out. Now there's always been trails down here, but just recently, so let's say you're living in Cardiff, you can just walk on down here, you can e-bike down here, you could drive on down to the nature center, park in this parking lot. There's another one off up to the north here, but they built these bridges to go over the lagoon, going down, another bridge on this side here. And basically you could take a whole loop all the way around the lagoon. It's a few miles deep where you go around, you cross over and go right next to Solana Beach. If you have kids, bring them out to Annie's Canyon, a little slot canyon up here. It's super fun. It only takes, 5-10 minutes once you're actually in there. A little bit tight in there, so if you're a little claustrophobic like me, just be aware. But it wraps all the way around. You're gonna go over, there's a bridge underneath the freeway here to cross over, and then you can wrap all the way around. So getting outside, you wouldn't think there's many, it's a beachfront community, you wouldn't think there's many of these trails, but there is this beautiful trail right down to the south, and it's pretty flat, so it's an easy walk. You don't have to do the whole loop, go down, walk across, come back. It's a huge amenity to have right here in Cardiff. Also, right along the train tracks right here, you'll see this paved path right here where it starts right about Chesterfield. It goes all the way up to Swami's. This is the coastal rail trail. It's mostly flat. There's a little bit of up or downhill, but you'll see people out here all of the time. It's always packed because it's a gorgeous walk. You're overlooking the ocean, especially during sunset. It's beautiful. As you get to the north end, you can just stand up here, watch people surfing down at Swami's. And if you need to cross over and go under the tracks on this side, there is a train cross or a underground crossing right over here as well. So you get down here and you could hit all of the places over in downtown Encinitas. So Coast Highway right up here, Encinitas Fish Shop, Union, Swami's Cafe, taco stand, Lotus Cafe, juice bar. I mean, those are just ones popping up. There's 1,000 more things, little restaurants, date nights, all that is right there as well. And one thing about the beaches here, especially if you got dogs, you can bring your dogs, which is very rare for a lot of areas of San Diego. You bring them on the beach, walk them around on leash. So just be aware of that, especially this long stretch right here. You'll see a lot of dogs out on leash over here. But one other new amenity, or I guess activity, that is recent right here in Cardiff, and it's just under the 5 off Manchester up at the Miracosta campus right here. This is where they have the farmers market every week. So fresh produce, there's usually, I think last time we went, there's a good fish guy, got some pokey, like a little poke bowl and stuff, but fresh fruits, veggies, other little arts and crafts stands, all that kind of stuff, and that happens every week right up there as well. All right, now looking at schools. Now the school district for Cardiff is pretty simple because Cardiff has their own school district, and it's pretty small. It's 2 schools. You have Cardiff School, K through 2, Ada Harris, 3 through 6. Now we're looking at this map, San Diego Union High School District. That's not where we're at right now. That's where we're going to middle and high school. We'll show you that here in a sec. Super simple, Cardiff Elementary School, right on the coast. You're looking basically out at the ocean. I mean, I was talking to my friend there. We went to a soccer game. I ran into him, and his kids go to Cardiff Elementary School, and I was just like looking at the view. I'm like, oh, look how lucky they are. You got this beautiful view. It's gorgeous, this and that. And he's like, yeah, we tell our kids, hey, how's that view? It's a gorgeous view, right? And they're like, wait, what do you mean? What view? They're going to school there. They don't care. It's just like their school. So the kids don't notice it, but as you're dropping your kids off, if you live here, once you first move here, you're gonna be like, wow, this is amazing. So anyways, Cardiff Elementary, Ada Harris. As far as going to middle school, you're gonna go into the San Diego Union High School District. And from there, you're gonna go to Oak Crest Middle School. So right up the road here, not too far from a lot of areas of Cardiff. Getting into high school, you're gonna get, once again, San Diego Union High School. Your home school is going to be right up to this little section, La Costa Canyon High School. Now there is a high school right off the edge of Cardiff right here, where you see San Diego High School Academy. Now LCC, or La Costa Canyon, is going to be your home school. But if you want to send your kids closer, or if you want them to go to SDA, San Diego Academy, so you must live in the San Diego Union High School, which you would in Cardiff, but it's a high school selection process. You have to apply during a certain amount of window, and if demand exceeds capacity, if there's more kids trying to get in than there are spots, then you go into a lottery system. So just be aware of that. You're not necessarily guaranteed to go to that school, but if you don't go there, you will be going to right up here which isn't too far as well, right here at La Costa Canyon, which is actually in Carlsbad. So you go out, you cruise across Encinitas, just right on the edge of Carlsbad to go to LCC. All right, so let's look at a few homes in Cardiff. Now, as a whole, Cardiff doesn't usually have a ton of inventory. There's just a smaller footprint, so you're gonna find less houses. If you're looking Encinitas, you're gonna find more, bigger footprint. Down to the south, Solana Beach, same thing, bigger. As you get close to the coast, usually it's going to be more expensive. As you get into some of these homes, this is 4795, 6-bed, 4-bath, about 3644 square feet. You will find this style too in the walking district, where it's basically kind of like a duplex, but you get one side of it. So it's single family home, you're sharing one wall, but these ones are usually a little more affordable. 4-bed, 4-bath, 2,600 square foot, going at for 2.28. As we get into the Composer District, here's 4.3 for 4-bed, 4-bath, 4,300 square foot. So just about $1,000 per square foot right there. Nothing right here in Poinsettia Heights that is on the market currently. There have been a few sell here in that 1.5 range, right off Birmingham, right, you know, it's kind of like a main-ish road. They're a little bit close to the freeway, so not ideal. But as you get back into here, you're looking at 1.75 plus. If they're new, if they're brand new updated, you're probably getting into that $2 million range. Like I said, there's a few other neighborhoods right over here that might work as well. And then that whole condo and twin home townhome. So here's Park Place, where you have 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,258 square foot for 1.1. There's another one popping up right here, 955, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,258. And in here, you're gonna find, these are some of those are twin homes as well. Leave a little bit more like single family homes as you get into this section of Cardiff. And then you'll find a few other smaller areas as well. Now, what about the future of Cardiff and development? As you can see, there's not a ton of space out here. A little bit over here across the 5 freeway, right over this way. I believe it got approved for like senior facility living, and they just built this park and ride. So a little bit of new development, but you're not gonna see anything in the walking district, in Composer District. One of the newest things is the Encinitas Community Park right here on the edge of Cardiff and Encinitas. Now, awesome park as well. Big play structure, one of the best skate parks in all of North County, San Diego right there. Bunch of ball fields. If you have kids in soccer and camps and all that kind of stuff, you're gonna end up there a handful of times. Over on Lake here, there's a few more bigger lots, but you're not gonna see a ton of big development. Cardiff Sports Park right here. This development is somewhat new right here off Lake. This is a big open field. You see these big open lots here, but for the most part, Cardiff is built out. So you'll see, like I said, a few new spots pop up here and there, but for the most part, it is not going to be some master plan community. Now, where else are people looking if they're looking in Cardiff? Most likely they weren't looking in Cardiff. Maybe they were looking at Encinitas and came across Cardiff, but Encinitas, once again, bigger footprint. So you're gonna have a lot more where you're gonna be feeding into some of those same beaches, same amenities, same kind of vibes, same lifestyle as Cardiff, just on a bigger scale. You got a golf course, you have a few more schools, a few more different neighborhoods as well, a few more different options as far as housing goes. Down to the south, you have Solana Beach, a little bit smaller footprint than Encinitas, but you have a mix of track neighborhoods just east of the 5. You have beachfront homes. You have a big, huge area of beachfront condos. So you'll have some of that, maybe a little bit of Del Mar, but Carlsbad potentially could work as well, certain areas of Carlsbad. So all of these coastal cities right here in North County, San Diego, each are gonna offer their own unique vibe. But if you guys are looking for something specific and you want to dive into some of these, we can definitely help you out. When people are reaching out, that's what we do. Hop on the Zoom, go over, we can hop in the map just like we're doing right now and show you what's going on in the neighborhood, show you you give us your details and figure out, you know, oh, well, Cardiff, maybe check out this area, maybe check out this neighborhood, that kind of stuff. So really get you dialed in. And if you guys wanna see more of Cardiff, go check out that next video popping up where Cassie and I are hopping around. We're diving into some of these neighborhoods, showing you what's around, really showing you the vibe and the feel of living in Cardiff.